Hello dear students, welcome to my channel Biology 60. Today I am going to read the chapter 2 of Biological Classification of your NCERT class 11. I'll underline the important lines with a pen, but before starting the video, do not forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel for more such educational video like this one. So let's start with the biological classification. Since the dawn of civilization, there have been many attempts to classify living organisms. It was done intensively, not using criteria that were scientific but born of a need to use organisms for our own use, for food, shelter and clothing. Aristotle was the earliest to attempt a more scientific basis of classification. He used simple morphological characters to classify plants into trees, herbs, and shrubs. He also divided animals into two groups, those which had RBCs and those that did not. In Linnaeus' time, two kingdom system of classification with kingdom Plantae and Animalia kingdoms was developed that included all plants and animals respectively. This system did not distinguish between eukaryotes and prokaryotes, unicellular and multicellular organisms, and the photosynthetic green algae and non-photosynthetic fungi organisms. Classifications of organisms into plants and animals was easily done and was easy to understand, but a large number of organisms did not fall into the either category. Hence, two kingdom classification used for a long time was found inadequate. Besides gross morphology, a need was also felt for including other characteristics like cell structure, nature of wall, mode of nutrition, habitat, methods of reproduction, evolutionary relationships, etc. Classification systems for living organisms have hence undergone several changes over the time. Though plant and animal kingdoms have been a constant under all different systems, the understanding of what groups organisms be included under these kingdoms have been changing. The number and the nature of the other kingdoms have also been understood differently by different scientists over the time. Table 2.1 Characteristics of 5 kingdoms. Characters, cell type, cell wall, nuclear membrane, body organization, mode of nutrition. 5 kingdoms: Monera, Protista, Fungi, Plantae, Animalia. Cell type: Monera, prokaryotic, Protista, eukaryotic, Fungi, eukaryotic, Plantae, eukaryotic, Animalia, eukaryotic. Cell wall: non-cellulosic, that is polysaccharides and amino acids. Protista: cell wall present in some. Fungi: cell wall present with chitin. Plantae: cell wall present with cellulose. Animalia: cell wall absent. Nuclear membrane: Monera absent, Protista present, Fungi present, Plantae present, Animalia present. Body organization: Monera cellular, Protista cellular, Fungi multicellular or loose tissue, Plantae tissue/organ, Animalia tissue/organ system. Mode of nutrition: autotrophic, chemosynthetic and photosynthetic, heterotrophic, saprophytic and parasitic. Protista: mode of nutrition: autotrophic, photosynthetic and heterotrophic. Fungi: mode of nutrition: heterotrophic, saprophytic and parasitic. Plantae: mode of nutrition: autotrophic, photosynthetic. Animalia: mode of nutrition: heterotrophic, holozoic or saprophytic. R.H. Whitaker in 1969 proposed a five-kingdom system of classification. The kingdoms defined by him were Monera, Protista, Fungi, Plantae, and Animalia. The main criteria of classification used by him included cell structure, body organization, mode of nutrition, reproduction, and phylogenetic relationships. Table 2.1 gives a comparative account of different characteristics of five kingdoms. The three-domain system has been proposed that divides the kingdom Monera into two domains, leaving the remaining eukaryotic kingdoms in the third domain, and thereby a six-kingdom classification. You will learn about this system in detail at higher classes. Let us look at the five-kingdom classification to understand the issues and considerations that influenced the classification system. Earlier classification system included bacteria, blue-green algae, fungi, mosses, ferns, gymnosperms, and the angiosperms under the plants. The character that unified this whole kingdom was that all organisms included had a cell in their cell walls. This placed together groups which widely differed in other characteristics. It brought together the prokaryotic bacteria and the blue-green algae cyanobacteria with other groups which were eukaryotic. It also grouped together the unicellular organisms, the multicellular organisms. Once, say, for example, Chlamydomonas and Spirogyra were placed together under algae. The classification did not differentiate between the heterotrophic group fungi and the autotrophic green plants, though they also showed a characteristic difference in their wall composition. The fungi had a chitin in their walls, while the green plants had a cellulosic cell wall. When such characteristics were considered, the fungi were placed in a separate kingdom, that is kingdom fungi. All prokaryotic organisms were grouped together under kingdom Monera, and unicellular eukaryotic organisms were placed in kingdom Protista. Kingdom Protista has brought together Chlamydomonas, cholera, earlier placed in algae with the plants and both having cell walls, with paramecium and amoeba, which were earlier placed in the animal kingdom which lack cell wall. It has put together organisms which in earlier classification were placed in different kingdoms. This happened because the criteria of classification changed. This kind of change will take place in future too, depending on the improvement on our understanding of the characteristics and evolutionary relationships. Over time, an attempt has been made to evolve a classification system which reflects not only the morphological, physiological, and reproductive similarities, but is also phylogenetic, that is based on the evolutionary relationships. In this chapter, we will study characteristics of kingdom Monera, Protista, and fungi of the Whitaker system of the classification. The kingdoms Plantae and Animalia, commonly referred to as plant and animal kingdoms respectively, will be dealt separately in chapter 3 and chapter 4. So this was all from me. Now I'll make the part 2 of the video, and do like, share and subscribe to